Hello,
Okay.
this is Stephen Hall, also known as Reiki Man. I'm interviewing Denise Singerline, who is a Usui and Karuna Reiki Master. In fact, she is my teacher in Usui Master and Karuna Master. Today we'll talk to Denise about her specialty, which is chakra balancing. Denise, can you tell the audience a little bit about this, and first of all, what are chakras?
Sure. Chakras are wheels of energy. Okay, it's a Sanskrit word, and so they look like this, and it's about the size of them, and they run along our spine. There's 7 main areas that run along the spine, and this is a belief system that the people in China and Tibet and Japan and also India that believe in as well. And you can see them on this card here, that they're all along the spine. And so they're windows, they're portals of energy. And so what happens is as we go along through our life and our people that we're around and different situations and emotions, all of these chakras can start to begin to get blocked. And then we start feeling tired and frustrated and angry and upset. It's kind of like, it's like all of our chakras have scotch tape all over them, and all this energy from everybody gets stuck all over it. And so when you meditate or you do yoga or Tai Chi, or get healing work, that opens them all up and aligns them all and balances them all again. And so if someone is so into the physical world, that would mean that their root chakra, which is at the base of the spine, that's overactive. Okay, if someone has a lot of relationship issues, that would be problems with their second chakra. If someone is just so overly emotional and they can't control their emotions, or maybe they have a huge ego, that's going to be the solar plexus chakra. Or if you need more love and compassion, okay, that's the heart chakra. Or over the abundance, it could be over or under. And then if people have a hard time either speaking, which you don't, being in Toastmasters, okay, speaking your truth and your personal power, that's your throat. Because when you think of that, communication, with the power of the word, God created the universe. So that would be a lack of your throat chakra. And then for your intuition and imagination, that would be your third eye. That's why the people in India go ahead and they put that dot right there, because that's a power center.
Okay.
And then the last chakra is the crown chakra on the top of the head, which is your connection to the divine. So when you meditate, and you can meditate on all these different chakras and all the different colors, and they all resonate to different musical notes as well. If you start down at the root chakra, it's C, D, E, F, G, A, and B.
Okay.
So that's why a lot of times sound healing also can open up your chakras as well, because they all resonate to the different musical notes.
Interesting. And I noticed you have a number of colored bags, and are colors associated with the chakras also?
Yes, yes. These are really great. I ended up finding these from a friend, and these are just amazing. That each of the chakras, they are all different colors. Okay, and then not only do they resonate to different sounds, but there are different stones and crystals that resonate and balance and open up the chakras as well. So the red is for the root chakra. And then we have the orange is for the next one up, the sacral chakra. And then we've got yellow for the solar plexus. We've got green for the heart. We've got blue for the throat. And either indigo or violet is for your third eye. And then gold or crystal energy is for your crown chakra. So what I do when I do the healing work is I place all these bags over the chakras as I'm doing the energy work, and just the colors and the vibrations of the healing and the stones and the crystals, they all are activating and balancing as well.
Excellent. And you mentioned using sounds to help with the balance. Is that just your voice, or do you use musical instruments of any kind?
Well, I use a combination of things. I don't really use my voice. I mean, that is part of Karuna Reiki, where you can do toning, but I don't do that in my chakra balance. What I do is this resonates to Om. This is a tuning fork that resonates to Om. So what I would do is, when I'm working on someone and they're lying on the massage table, I go in figure eights over their body, and then running it back and forth up along the chakras, and that helps to open them up as well, because this is balancing. Okay, so I use this, I call it the ominator. And then I also have singing bowls, and a lot of them are larger bowls, but this one happens to be what's called a practitioner bowl, and it's a titanium bowl. And this resonates to the heart chakra. And so what I like to do is in the beginning and throughout the session, frequent times throughout the session, which takes about an hour, I go ahead and I play these bowls, and they just have just amazing sound. I'll just play it for just a moment so you can hear that. this would be, I have different bowls for the different chakras also, one for each. And so by playing them, they open, again, each of the chakras as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And you have a number of, are those medicinal oils or essential oils?
Yes, I never used oils for years and years and years, and I had people that were coming to me for years. And then once I started getting into the Young Living essential oils, they're just such amazing spiritual organic oils, and they have no fillers in them, and I was so amazed as to what they can do. So what I started to do right off the bat was I put lavender, a drop of lavender on each of their feet, because these oils go right into the bloodstream within 20 seconds. So that would already begin to relax them already, and it smells really, really good. And then what I would also do is I would take frankincense, which is a spiritual oil, and also another oil called Awaken. And I would take a drop of each of those, and I would put it on their third eye, which is your spiritual eye. And I would also go ahead and I would rub it along their temples and the rest on their wrists. And because these are such spiritual oils, by adding these, a lot of my customers would say that now they're seeing beautiful colors as they're receiving the healing, very beautiful healing colors, or maybe they're meeting their spirit guides, or maybe they're just feeling the energy more than they ever did. So it just really enhances the experience, and so they're just very, very spiritual and very amazing.
All right, and you have a number of stones and crystals there as well?
Yes, and this was the first thing. I used to do just Reiki all the time, and that was it, just Reiki. Okay, but Spirit, one by one, started bringing in these other things to me, and you don't have to do anything else other than just do your hands-on healing, but just one at a time. These things would come to me, and I've just incorporated them all together. And since I'm using a lot of different modalities, I had to come up with a name. And since all of the Reiki positions go over all of the chakras anyway, so I said, well, I'm going to call it a chakra balance. And so I would be at the Gem Show, which is here in Tucson every year, and I would come up with a lot of different things. Yeah, thank you. Can you hold that? Yeah.
Certainly.
So I would find these different stones that would match the different chakras and remind me of the different chakras, and I would program them to open up and balance that chakra. And so to give you an idea, let's go ahead and start with the crown. So the crown is a crystal energy. So I bought this beautiful tiny little crystal that I had got from a spiritual woman that was here called Amma, Matreen's mother, and she's a saint from India. So I used that. I would actually put it right on their crown. And then the third eye, right? This looks like an eyeball, right?
A little bit, yes.
It looks like an eyeball. And so I would use that on their third eye, or an amethyst. And there have been times when I've put these on people, and they were angry when I took them off, because they started maybe seeing a past life, or maybe they were from India in a past life, and they remembered wearing that little dot there. And so when I put the crystal there, it was just a memory that came forth. And then your throat, which is blue, I have this little tiny turquoise in blue, which looks like a thyroid, which is interesting. So I would just place that right on the throat chakra.
Okay.
And then the heart, which is rose quartz, resonates to the heart chakra. So this is a little tiny angel. So I would go ahead and put that right on the heart.
Okay.
And then the solar plexus, which is yellow, I have this little tiny amber Buddha that I had gotten. And then the next one down, which is orange, I have this little tiny amber pyramid that I would use and put that there. And then for the root chakra is red, and I really wouldn't want to, you don't want to ever touch, places like that. So I would go ahead and put it like on the hips, but I have different things. Like I would use either this little bone helping hand with a little, looks like a little Reiki symbol on here, okay? Or else I would put maybe this here. Okay, this is the Om. Okay, that's what that is. So they're all different things, and these, I've found these one at a time and over a period of years. And so those also are all programmed to activate the chakras as well.
Well, that's great. And just for the non-technical terms, how would you program a stone?
Sure. Well, what you would do is you would hold it in your hand, and you want to have your intention. Like my intention is to go ahead and to use the stone to open up a particular chakra. So say if I wanted to use this one right here for the throat, okay, I would just hold it in my hand, and I would just say a prayer of intention that I'm declaring that this beautiful turquoise butterfly, that I use it to activate the throat chakra. And so every time that I use it on one of my clients, that it would help to balance it and to open it up. And that was my intention, and then I would send it Reiki energy. And when I get done working on my client, I would just put it in the sunlight, because the sunlight would clear it, because you want to clear out all the energy from that person to prepare for the next. Because you don't want to carry that energy over or forward to the next person. Or you can go ahead and you could also clear them in the moonlight as well. So sunlight or moonlight, you never want to use salt. That's a myth. You know, some people think you got to clear it with salt, but that just dries up the stone, and the stones aren't happy when you use salt. So.
All right. I notice you have one other thing on the counter there, a little wand. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, this is one of the first things too. You know, for years I had wanted to have a wand, a crystal wand, but I looked and looked and looked, and one time I was at the gem show, and I saw this Indian woman all the way across the room, and our eyes connected, and so I knew I had to go over there immediately. And so I went right over there, you know, all those synchronicities, right, listening to those synchronicities. So I went over there, and she had this amazing table of these most beautiful wands of all different shapes and colors and stones and styles. And I started picking them up, and I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to choose? There were so many, and I wanted like 5 of them, you know, and I couldn't have 5, obviously. And so when I picked up this one is really cool because it's made of crystal, and it has a little lotus at the top here, and it has all the different chakras with all the different colors of the chakras on it. But what I also loved is that it also has all the rune stones, which I use tarot cards when I do readings, and also the rune stones. And so it has all the rune stones all carved all around here. And the minute I picked this up, my hand started just vibrating, you know, just like this. And so I know whenever, you know, I'm supposed to buy something, my hand just starts vibrating. And so this is what I use. So this is like my psychic scalpel. So a lot of times, especially in the second chakra here, which is the relationship chakra, that a lot of times people can cord other people. So what I would do is I would use this to cut the cord permanently and to remove that cord.
Okay. And this is an energetic cord?
Yes, yes. And so a lot of times, like when, you know, people are dating or married or children or family members, you know, half the time they don't even realize what they're doing, but they cord you. It's like an umbilical cord. And they'll go ahead and they'll cord you in order to, you know, keep in contact with you or to receive energy from you or have an emotional tie to you. And so, you know, you're not supposed to do that. And again, most people are very unconscious of it and they're not aware that they've done it. And so what I do is I ask Archangel Michael to come down with his sword and to cut all of those away. And then I also use my little scalpel to cut them away as well and to cut them off. And you know, people could always cord us over and over again. So we really have to, again in our meditations, just ask Archangel Michael to come down and just cut away all the swords, and then I envision a little psychic vacuum coming up and sucking them all up.
All right. Well, I know that sometimes, especially say between a mother and a small child, the mother's aware if the child is upset even if they don't hear them crying or something like that.
Exactly, exactly.
So that would be the cord.
Yeah, yes. That's part of it, yes.
All right.
It's kind of like when you start thinking of somebody and then the phone rings and it's them on the phone, which just happened to me yesterday. I was thinking, oh, my customer, you know, she should be calling me soon for one of the oils, and a minute later there she was on the phone. Can I come over and pick up the oil?
I think a lot of us have experienced that. So is there anything else you can tell us about the chakras?
Well, you know, it's important for us to meditate and to relax, you know, to be peaceful, at least 15 minutes to a half hour a day. You know, there's only so much time in a day, and we get so busy with our lives, you know, with working and family and, you know, TV, you know. So if everybody could just carve out a half hour of their TV time every day and just meditate on the chakras and just vibrate them open and visualize all the colors on the different chakras, or just visualizing gold on each of them as well. And then you would have a much healthier and more balanced life, you know, because you're balancing all of your levels, your spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical levels as well. So it's not, you know, it's so many different areas, and any one of those can be out of balance. So you really keep yourself very healthy, and you probably won't be going to the doctors as much and having less surgeries if you keep yourself balanced.